A chevron is where?
The chevron plant is directly over there with all the plants.
Oh, you mean that little area?
Yes. It's over on that landmass. So when that exploded,
Yeah.
we could see the entire line of smoke headed over the hills. It was horrific to watch.
And that we're looking north. That's north from
Yes,
here.
that's northeast.
Okay, and we're walking east right now.
So
what are we walking toward right
we're
now?
walking towards the Pandemonium 2. So once they moved it from its former site, its original site, they placed it over here on the Berkeley side of, and the incinerator was also back here.
So what did they burn in the incinerator?
Same things they did in the burn pit.
In the
Just
burn
basically anything that was classified as solid waste. So
At anything, everything.
everything.
Chemicals, everything.
Yes. And
Those radium dials.
right, and because we're very porous and our wave action, interacts with our groundwater on a tidal schedule,
Right.
and it goes pretty far in. It goes at least 40 feet in or so. You have to assume that anything 40 feet out is also potentially bearing something ill, something not good. And if you'll look at the end of the jetty over there, we have a fisherman. So they come and fish regularly.
So stand over here close to the camera and tell me about this.
Sure.
I'm not sure I have him. It's pretty far away. Yeah. There's such a whiteout effect, it's hard to find things.
Yeah.
You want to point to him and see if I can get your finger pointing in the frame.
He's kind of right
Your
behind the
finger's
rock.
not in the frame yet.
Right behind the rock.
Okay. All right, he's in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's kind of right on that end.
So what's your purpose in pointing out a fisherman?
Well, he's a single fisherman this time, but we often have almost teams, like 3, 4, or 5 fishermen at a time on the end of the islands on the perimeter, taking fish from the bay, fish, crabs. So I don't know what they're doing with them afterwards, but if they are eating them, that's not a good idea, especially, let alone Treasure Island's issues. But when we had the ship hit the bridge and
Right.
all the petroleum that came around, and you have to imagine if it sunk, the upwelling is still happening. It's still
Yes.
bringing things from the bottom up. So any benthic organisms, anything, again, bioaccumulation is a serious issue. So these fishermen, I finally convinced them to put the signs up to warn them about mercury and, what kind of fish they can eat. But this is a regular occurrence. So this is not just people who live here. We have people who don't live here come here just to fish.
Yeah. I do believe that they sell this fish, and I do believe that they eat this fish. So you're saying 40 feet out,
At least.
at least, it has what in it?
Well, it could have anything that we've already discussed on the island can eventually make its way out into the bay. And in fact, that was stated by them in the last meeting. Oh, it only affects the bay. Well, we have fishermen and boaters and kids who swim, and how is that not a human issue as well? How does that not affect us? I don't understand the logic or illogic. I don't understand his intended logic behind that.
What I hear is a constant minimization of a problem.
Exactly.
You say, well, what about this? And they say, well, it's only. You say, well, what about that? And they say, well, it's just.
Right. If we're ashes to ashes and dust to dust, then whatever I eat, consume, do during my lifetime becomes part of this earth again. How dare I not respect or treat this body or this, the animals, the bay, are as important to me as I am to it. And I don't understand the separation.
And if you eat this stuff, your body then becomes radioactive. You hope not for a long time, die,
Right, knock
that
on wood.
radioactivity goes right back into the ground.
Wherever I happen to be.
Right.
And
Multiplied by 2,000 families
right. Right.
that live here.
And that's currently. Again, we have military personnel who are here in and out of it. You imagine, so the 6 degrees of separation and just the fact that Mother Nature is what she is, it's holistic. We all interact at some point, even if it's not directly. We do this. I don't understand the separation of me, it, and you. It doesn't make sense to me.
And the separation of, it's only 40 feet out, and then
Right.
there's suddenly a wall of water that stops it in the bay somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the plume is
Water
only.
cleans things.
Have you heard that argument?
No, but it's that thinking.
Yeah.
It's water cleans stuff. Well, you have to have clean water for it to clean something. And if it's not clean, you're not cleaning anything. You're just mixing it all around together.
And radioactive material, they talk about it having a half-life. That
Right.
means it divides in half, divides in half, divides in half, and divides in half over time, and you always have a half.
Right.
That's why I say the half-life of radioactive material is never. It's always there. You cannot get rid of it.
Right.
You can't, and the whole concept of their cleaning up, in light of that, you can't clean it up. It's impossible to get rid of it.
Cleaning up.